heat the food to the right degree to make it healthy and germ-free. Have you ever heard about these quotes? It is one of the most famous quotes used at the World Food Safety Day 2021. This quote shows that the way we handle our food is important to keep the food safe for us. The industry takes a broad view of the term food control, which includes a large number of factors such as safety. Safety of food, including the safety standards of toxicological and microbiological hazards, and instituting procedures and practices to ensure that the standards are achieved. The topic of our presentation is food safety, and our focus today is the role of food industry in controlling the safety of food. I'm Ismahani Binti Eirohman, and I'm a student at University Putra Malaysia studying food science and technology.
My name is Nabilah Binti Mohd Zuki, and my matric number is 206629. I am a Bachelor of Food Science and Technology student at University Putra Malaysia.
Today, we would like to focus on our two main points to know how the food industry controls the safety of food. Firstly, I will explain about our first main point, which is ensure that the food safety requirements are uniform. And my partner will explain the second main point, implement the food safety management. Ensure that the food safety requirements are uniform. But why they need to ensure it to be uniform? Firstly, all consumers receive equal level of protection, so everyone will get the same standard food quality. Next, consumers are informed about the standard of protection that are being applied. Thus, they will clearly acknowledge about their food before consuming it. And lastly, all food producers are equitably treated through application of the same levels of safety. We have just seen why the food industry ensures that the food safety requirements are the same. Now I'm going to explain to you how they implement this thing. Firstly, by determining and controlling the relationship of critical factors in a complete food supply system. To provide a safe product, food industry management requires an organized way of defining and controlling the relationship of critical factors in a complete food supply system, including product conception, manufacturing and distribution, and consumer satisfaction. According to Sharon Gardner, a senior vice president for science and technology of the Grocery Manufacturers of America, quality assurance programs are designed today with particular emphasis on the use of hazard analysis and critical control point (HACCP) technique, an approach that the food industry developed consists of several elements, like performing a hazard analysis to identify potential hazards and necessary controls. The objective is to produce the safe product that meet manufacturer specification. Secondly, food industry promoting national food control systems that are based upon scientific principles and guidelines. According to Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations, with the developments in food science and technology, the food standards are being coordinated at international level by food industry. For example, like Codex Alimentarius Commission (CAC). Its main objectives are to protect the health of consumers and ensure fair practices in food trade. It has formulated international standards for a wide range of food products and specific requirements like covering the food additive, hygiene, and food contaminants. As a result, the principle of food safety and quality have been continuously assessed at the worldwide level. Next, I will pass to my partner to explain about the second point of our presentation today.
Thank you, Isma. So now, let's move on to the second role of food industry in controlling the safety of food, which is to implement the food safety management. First of all, food industry will conduct research on the food products that they will produce to analyze and study the characteristics of the food, including their composition, structure, and physiochemical properties. As a result, food industry will produce food that are free from harmful materials as well as provide the consumers with the wholesome and safe food. According to the standard of identity, it stated that the regulation is made to specify the types and amount of ingredients that certain food must contain if they are to be called by a particular name on the food label. For example, that I took from a food law article, the standards of identity has specified the requirement in macaroni products where egg whites, frozen egg whites, dry egg whites, or two or all of these in such quantity that the solid thereof are not less than 0.5% and not more than 2.0% of the weight of the finished food. In short, it is very important for the food industry to conduct research on the food that they will produce to make sure the food are safe. This now leads us to the second point, which is food industry must use equipment that meet the correct standards. To be clear, the equipment used in food industry must accessible for cleaning procedure and made from non-toxic materials because this will prevent the food from contaminated by microorganisms and other harmful substances. Therefore, it will reduce the risk of consumers from getting food poisonings that because of the contaminated food. According to the Journal of Nutrition, Education and Behavior, most foodborne diseases can be prevented if the regulations governing food safety were complied with, from production stages to consumption. That brings me to the end of my second point. In conclusion, it is proven that food industry plays important role in controlling the safety of food. There are two main roles of food industry in controlling the food safety, which are the first one to ensure the food safety requirements are uniform and to implement the food safety management. Before we end our presentation, I would like to share with you a quotation from Mike Johans where he said, "We are going to do everything possible to make sure that food safety is always paramount, and that we work with the industry as aggressively as we can to make sure that we are paying attention to the food safety issues." Thank you for listening to our presentation.